When I was growing up, I had this feeling that I just wasn't good enough. And I didn't even know where that feeling came from. But all I knew was no matter how many books I read, how many girls I talked to, no matter what I tried to get my value, like my self-worth up, I always had this nagging feeling, this voice inside that kept saying, Jad, you're not good enough. You're unworthy. You're not able. You're not deserving. So the first thing I want to tell you is that if you're struggling with this nagging voice inside or this feeling like you just don't measure up or you're just not good enough, and like me, you've tried so many things and haven't been able to shake it, I can relate. I was there too. What I want to show you today is a way out of this hell. Yes, it's hell. I know because I've experienced it. So for you, you may be playing it down to other people or shrugging it off. But yes, when you have this feeling like I don't feel good enough, that starts ruining your life. Because every time you want something, but you don't feel like you're capable or worthy of getting it. Maybe you see a beautiful girl you want to talk to, but then that voice inside stops you because it tells you you're not good enough, or maybe you want a promotion, or maybe you want to start your own business, but that not good enough feeling just keeps you stuck and keeps you playing small. So let's talk a little bit about where this came from, why it's so hard to shake, and how to actually overcome this limitation. Step one is discovering where this came from. As men, when we don't feel good enough, what comes along with that is a lot of shame. Because why? Everyone tells us, be confident, be strong, believe in yourself, right? Those are conscious instructions given to you. Be strong, believe in yourself, just go after what you want. But unfortunately, it's not that simple. And so we think that, if I consciously just tell myself I'm enough, then I should feel good enough, and then I should go after what I want. But I tried to consciously just believe in myself, and it didn't work. And so now I feel ashamed. And now I've judged myself as weaker than other men. So the first thing we need to do is understand what is the origin of this feeling not good enough and why it's not actually your fault. So when you understand what I'm about to tell you, that will alleviate a lot of the self-guilt and the shame that you're carrying, which is unnecessary. It's sad to be carrying around this shame, and you're blaming yourself for something that actually wasn't your fault, and it also wasn't in your control. So it turns out these feelings of inadequacy were created in childhood, and most probably before the age of 7. So a lot of our behaviors that are limiting us actually were created through traumatic experiences when we were kids. Now, the first thing I want to highlight is that this program that you have inside your mind of I'm not good enough, I want you to look at it like a computer software that was installed into your brain, okay? There's a software program inside your brain that's running automatically, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. That's actually called a paradigm, but we'll get to that later, okay? So there has been a destructive software installed in your brain when you were a child. Now, let's understand something about a child's brain. So when you're young, your brain is less developed and your unconscious is like a wide open door. Now, as an adult, I want you to imagine a circle, okay? I want you to imagine a circle with a line in the middle. On the top of the circle, the top half represents your conscious mind. The bottom half represents your subconscious mind. So in an adult, we have a circle with a line in the middle with a clear separation between your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind, okay? So as an adult, when a suggestion comes to you, it first has to get filtered by your conscious mind, and then you consciously think, I agree with this or I reject this. And if someone tells you, for example, you're an evil piece of shit, you're going to think consciously and you're going to say, actually, no, that it's not true, I will reject that idea. Okay? And if you reject it, it does not get planted into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can be likened to soil. What do you do with soil? You plant seeds into the soil, right? And the soil is passive. When you put an apple seed in the soil, it has no ability to reject that seed. It just says, okay, it just accepts the seed, and then it grows an apple tree. Your subconscious mind works the same way. Here's the kicker. When you are young, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, that filter that you have, that conscious mind to accept and reject ideas, is either non-existent or still in development. So, going back to your childhood, something that happened before you were 7 years old, someone gave you a message that you're not good enough. And it went into your conscious mind, but because your brain was still developing, your subconscious mind, that circle with the line there, just imagine there's no line there. It went in your conscious mind and straight into your subconscious mind, straight into the soil. The idea was not rejected by you because you were too young to know that that was an untrue message that was given to you, and it went into your subconscious mind, was planted there like a seed of I'm not good enough, and it grew into a tree of I'm not good enough. And so now there is a software program in your subconscious mind that was planted there as a child, I'm not good enough. And then that program just keeps playing over and over in your life. And this brings us to the next understanding of your subconscious mind, which is 95% of our behavior is automatic. 95% of our daily behavior, like today, is run by our subconscious mind. So, if I have a program that I am not enough running in my subconscious mind, and 95% of my behavior is automatic, it's running whatever program has been already programmed in the subconscious mind, now you can see why, even if you want to believe you're good enough, that program is running 95% of you just automatically, because 95% of our behaviors are habitual. And in other words, 95% of our behavior is subconscious behavior according to whatever has been programmed in our subconscious mind. So what you should be understanding up to this point is, oh, I'm starting to see how maybe this feeling not good enough isn't my fault. Number one, it was a program that was programmed into me when I was a kid, and I had no filter. I had no ability to reject. And number two, whatever is planted in the subconscious mind automatically operates 95% of my behavior. So it's automatic, not because I'm weak, but just because that's how the brain works. And so the next question we come to is, okay, well, obviously I don't want to have that program running me on automatic. How do I change it? Before we answer that question, let me backtrack a little bit. A lot of times it's hard for us to know the real story of what message came into us as a little kid that allowed us to develop the belief that I'm not good enough. It doesn't have to be like a huge trauma. Maybe your mother looked at you in a way because she was pissed off at you and she was trying to discipline you, and you interpreted that as mother doesn't love me, I am unlovable, I'm not a good boy, and I'm not enough. Okay? So it could have been a glance, could have been a look, it could have been something more dramatic. I don't think that if you can find it, okay, but I think realistically, it was probably maybe a combination of different things that created this program. So to go into years of therapy trying to specifically understand exactly what it was, to some degree, is probably a waste of time. All we need to really understand is some traumatic experience happened that allowed us to pick up this belief, and now this belief is running our lives and ruining our lives, and we need to stop it. So, how do I change a program that has been programmed, a software that has been programmed inside my subconscious mind? Should I just keep trying harder to feel good enough? Well, that works and doesn't work. I'm coming up with a saying now, which is, you cannot outwork a bad paradigm. Okay? You cannot outwork a bad paradigm. A paradigm is what we've been talking about this whole video. A paradigm is a set of habits which is programmed in the subconscious mind. Said in an easy way, a paradigm is like a software program in your mind. Now we have helpful paradigms and destructive paradigms. I'm not good enough is obviously a destructive paradigm, a destructive piece of software. So how do I change my paradigm? I have to go into my subconscious and remove the old program and replace it with a new program, which is I am good enough and I feel good enough. So the first thing you need to understand is you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. And it is not enough for you to just consciously want to feel good enough, because your conscious mind isn't where the paradigm is. The paradigm is in the subconscious. Remember, 95% of your habits, behaviors, and beliefs are automatically running in your subconscious and only 5% in your conscious mind. So you can 5% of you can be like, I'm good enough, but 95%, it's like an iceberg. The 95% is saying, no, you're not. We don't believe we're good enough. So we have to work on the subconscious mind and reprogram the subconscious mind. So how do you reprogram your subconscious mind? I'm going to give you some tools here, but this is by no means extensive. Reprogramming your subconscious mind can take you down an entire rabbit hole on its own. But let me give you some practical exercises that I've personally done to get over this feeling of I'm not good enough. And I'm going to focus it on women because for me, I mastered the area of women and seduction. So let me stay in that lane for you. Okay. So one thing I did was journaling. What does journaling do, and how does journaling help you reprogram an unfavorable paradigm? When you journal, journaling allows you to do emotional release. Another term for journaling is stream of consciousness thinking. Stream of consciousness writing. Sorry. What is stream of consciousness writing? It's you take a pen and a paper, not digital. Did I say not digital? Not digital. Okay. Take a paper and a pen and you just write without stopping and without thinking. And when you're doing stream of consciousness writing, that is accessing your subconscious mind. If you start and stop and think, what should I write next? You're going into your conscious mind. We need to do subconscious mind work. So stream of consciousness thinking, and you just write whatever comes out, write whatever comes out. And what that does is it helps you emotionally release the feeling. So when you're dealing with changing a subconscious paradigm, you're dealing with the core belief and you're dealing with the emotion around that core belief. So the core belief is I'm not good enough or I'm not enough. And then there's a feeling, I don't feel enough. I don't feel good enough, right? And with that is probably some shame, some sadness, maybe some anger for missing out on stuff, or for maybe what your parents did or didn't do to you. And so when you're writing, you kind of start processing that emotion. Emotion needs to be expressed. One reason why you can't shake your feeling of not feeling good enough is because you're repressing those emotions related to not feeling good enough. You're suppressing them. And when you suppress an emotion, it always seeks expression. And if you don't express it directly, then it starts seeking expression in your love life, in your finances, and in your health. So someone who's suppressing his feelings of not feeling good enough maybe will become overweight, maybe will get into debt or have a bunch of money problems, or maybe will never be able to talk to girls or have a healthy relationship. So you need to process your emotions, and one way is stream of consciousness thinking, and you just do that ideally every day for like 3 months. And what that does is it clears the suppressed emotions and gives them an expression. And when emotions are expressed, they're kind of neutralized, and then you can move on. The next method for reprogramming your subconscious program is to start going out there and demonstrating to yourself that you have the ability to do the thing that you're doubting you can do. So for myself, it was I don't feel good enough to talk to girls. So even though I didn't feel good enough, I went anyways. And I went and I took massive action over the course of many years so I could demonstrate to myself that I could do it. There's a difference between thinking, yeah, I think I can do it, versus I did it, and I did it dozens of times or hundreds of times. When people start working on reprogramming their subconscious mind, a lot of people just tend to sit at home, isolated, alone, and doing audios and journaling exercises and going to therapy or whatever, but they don't go and face the thing that's scaring them. And that's a big mistake, because one way to change your paradigm is through action. Now, yes, we said that just consciously wanting to feel good enough isn't enough, and working harder isn't enough. In my journey, what I want you to understand is I did inner game and outer game both at the same time for years. Okay? I didn't only just sit at my desk, do inner game, and then hope that my feeling of not good enough was going to go away. No. As I was working on my inner game and changing my paradigm, I was consistently going out there and demonstrating to myself that I could do it. So you need both. If you're, I know a part of you is like, yay, I can sit at home for 90 days with a perfect excuse to say that I'm changing my paradigm. So I don't have to go and use courage and approach women because I don't feel good enough and I have to change that program before I can go talk to girls. No. You need to do both. You need to still be going out and being social while you're working on your inner game. And this brings us to the next point. When I felt not good enough and I was going out there to repeatedly demonstrate to myself that, hey, Jad, you can do this. You're better than you think. I did not do that alone. And I could not do that alone. And I tried to do that alone and I couldn't. But then when I got a coach and when I got a wingman, when I got other men to help me and support me, once I joined mastermind groups that gave me support and accountability, that's what allowed me to consistently go out and talk to women, even though I didn't really believe in myself. And a side note, even though I didn't really believe in myself and I felt not good enough, I actually got a lot of success on the way and I was surprised. So the good news is that once you start going out there, even if you don't believe in yourself 100%, you're going to be pleasantly surprised and a lot of girls are going to like you. And that, again, is going to start changing that belief you have about yourself, the story you have about yourself. And you're going to actually start believing, oh, maybe I'm actually not that bad. Maybe I do have what it takes. So the biggest mistake I see in my YouTube followers is they don't join any masterminds, they don't hire any dating coaches, they don't get wingmen, and they just do it alone. Big mistake. You're going to stay stuck because your paradigm, which is 95% controlling you, is going to stop you. You need people outside of you, aka other paradigms, that tell you, hey bro, go out, you got this. And when you fall down, they'll help you back up. So you need accountability, you need support, you need to be part of a mastermind. A mastermind is 2 or more men working in harmony towards a specific goal. If you're going at this alone, chances are very high, like 98%, your paradigm will not change. Paradigms are not changed alone. Paradigms are a team sport. You need a coach, you need consistent masterminding in order to change your paradigm. And you need to go out there and actually talk to girls. And the final tip I'll give you for changing this belief of I'm not good enough is I want you to do daily auto-suggestion. What is auto-suggestion? Auto-suggestion was explained in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he said that if you want to believe in something, you have to repeat it over and over and over. So you probably know the word affirmations. So here's what I've done in my life in order to get where I wanted with women. I would sit down for anywhere between 20 minutes to 45 minutes, again with pen and paper, not digital, not digital, pen and paper, okay? Pen and paper accesses your subconscious mind. Follow the instructions. So, and I would sit there and I would just write out what I want, such as, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm confident, cool, and relaxed around beautiful women. I can easily walk up to the hottest women and I know exactly what to say and do at every moment. When women talk to me, their eyes are big and they have big smiles on their faces because they're so happy that Jad is talking to them. Women find me attractive. I believe in myself. I'm supremely confident in my ability to talk to the hottest women, cause attraction in them, and keep them. You know, stuff like that. So you write stuff down. You kind of like write a new story for yourself. And you just do that. And then writing, again, creates emotion. And it creates pictures in your mind. Your mind works with pictures. You are giving your subconscious mind a new software that you are installing. And this is a piece that I missed or haven't explained yet. How do you reprogram your subconscious mind? Through spaced repetition. What does spaced repetition mean? It means repetition plus time. Repetition plus time. So if you're writing these, like this example that I gave you, if you sat there and you wrote that for 20 minutes for one day, that's not going to land in your subconscious mind. That's not going to install the program. In order to install a new software program of I'm good enough inside your subconscious mind, you need to repeat the new software instructions over a period of, it varies, but let's say 90 days. Okay, so a guy who's sitting there and writing his new story, his new software for 90 days, every day, 20 to 45 minutes in a row, 90 days straight, that message will then eventually be installed into the subconscious mind. So let me give you a summary. In order to install a new software into your subconscious mind, you need to use spaced repetition, consistently repeating a new message to your subconscious mind for around 90 days. Repetition is the way to uninstall an old software and install a new software in your mind. In closing, it is not your fault that you don't feel good enough. It is not your fault that that program was programmed in your mind, but it is now your responsibility as an adult. You have this burden, you have to carry it, and you need to do the work to change this unhelpful paradigm and replace it with the helpful paradigm, the empowering paradigm of I am enough. Use the exercises I explained in this video. If you want to help, if you want coaching, if you want help, I have masterminds. I also have one-on-one coaching. I'll leave some links below, but you got to do the work. You got to reprogram your subconscious, get that old program out and program a new thing in. You can't outwork a bad paradigm. You need to program a new paradigm to replace the old one. You are enough. You got this. I went through it and came out the other side. You can too. Let's do it.